Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Hi there, this is John Frenaye, and it is Wednesday, October 25th, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Bad news this morning out of the Maryland Department of Health. In their second quarter report, which runs from January 2017 through July of 2017, it shows that there were 1,172 overdose-related deaths in the state, of which nearly 800 were fentanyl-related, which is a 70% increase. Heroin seems to have abated a little bit, with heroin deaths only up 7%, yet the fentanyl and carfentanil, as well as other drug-related deaths, are on the rise. Anne Arundel County reports the third most deaths in the state, behind Baltimore City and Baltimore County with 111. Some good news out of Gambrills. The family of an Anne Arundel County woman who was shot during the Las Vegas mass shooting in October said that she is still fighting and is expected to undergo another round of surgery. The family of Tina Frost provided the following update on her GoFundMe page. As we approach the 3-week mark of the horrific Las Vegas shootings, we are thankful Tina is still being a true fighter and warrior. Spiked fever on Friday of 102.5, so they are giving Tylenol in addition to the oxycodone, so she's not really responding except once in a while. Doctors aren't too alarmed at the surgeries, like the 6-hour one that she had on Thursday. We're okay to have a fever. Maryland State Police from the Centerville Barrack arrested a school bus driver in Queen Anne's County yesterday for driving under the influence in his school bus. The accused is identified as Dale Clark of Chester, Maryland. He was charged with DUI and related traffic charges after the Centerville Barrack received several 911 calls from motorists who witnessed erratic driving behavior by Clark, who was driving the school bus eastbound at Route 50 near Kent Narrows. Troopers observed numerous traffic violations and subsequently conducted the traffic stop on northbound 301 just south of Warrington Farm Lane. Clark did fail standardized field sobriety tests on the scene, was arrested without incident, and transported for processing. The Queen Anne's County School Board was contacted and sent a replacement driver. Annapolis Mayor Mike Panelides and Fire Chief David Stokes have announced the ending of the Make Annapolis Safe campaign, which began back in May of 2014. The fire department has gone door to door throughout the city to make sure that every home has a working smoke detector as well as carbon monoxide detectors, and those without would have them installed right then and there. The Annapolis Fire Department installed the free smoke alarms and free carbon monoxide monitors in area homes after the department received a $10,000 BG&E grant that was submitted by the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. The IAFF Local 1926 also donated $1,000 toward the purchase as well, and the Red Cross teamed up to help them distribute them in the door-to-door campaign. The fire chief said this has been an amazing campaign with the goal of ensuring Annapolis residents have early warning if a fire happens in their homes. I want to thank all the residents that welcomed us into their homes to inspect their smoke alarms. Our crews enjoyed this process and the opportunity to meet and talk with so many wonderful Annapolis residents. As Homer Simpson would say, dope. Baltimore officials are poised this morning to approve a $34,000 payment to the former owners of the Can Company building in Canton over an incorrect water bill. The Board of Estimates agenda states that the property's owners were charged $180,000 for one bill, roughly $150,000 more than the average. As a result of the large bill, the building was unknowingly put into a tax sale from which the owners had to rebuy their own building for $218,000. Oriole Park at Camden Yards was named the 5th nicest place in America by Reader's Digest. However, it still finished 2 spots behind incredibly beautiful Rock Hall in Kent County on the Eastern Shore. Senator John McCain is returning to his alma mater, the U.S. Naval Academy, to address the Brigade of Midshipmen on Monday night. McCain, a former Navy pilot and prisoner of war, will speak at the Academy's Alumni Hall at an event which is not open to the public. However, Eye on Annapolis will be there for you. Kind of a cool thing up in Baltimore, November 6th to 12th is the inaugural Baltimore Food Truck Week. And this is the brainchild of organizer Willie DeLee. He owns the hospitality consulting firm Au Jus Solutions, and he's looking to bring 50 food trucks throughout Baltimore in November when the weather is getting a little bit more cold and a little bit more challenging to do business, and businesses off for the food trucks. He's worked with several property owners around the city, including Merit Properties, to find spaces for them, and there's a real big buzz going for that. So if you're looking for some food truck food, head up to Baltimore the week of November 6th to November 12th. And if you're looking for a good time tonight, head over to the Lighthouse Bistro in the 200 block of West Street, where my co-host from the Maryland Crabs, Tim Hamilton, and I will be guest bartending during their happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. They've got a great new happy hour menu, cool little bar, great vibe, but even a better story. The Lighthouse Bistro, it's right there on the 200 block of West Street. You can park in the Knighton Garage right behind Lemongrass. It's a block away. Come on over, say hello. And I think I may have some tickets that I'll be giving away to the Annapolis by Candlelight, which is coming up in a couple weeks.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather. Here's your Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, October 25th. Skies continue to clear outside following the passage of a cold front yesterday morning, which wasn't too cold to begin with, but was then reinforced with some cooler air last night as the skies cleared a little more and another boundary line came through later in the day and the overnight hours. For today specifically, we posted a target high temp on our website of 63 degrees for downtown Annapolis and 62 for BWI Airport, which will be a nice taste of fall across the area after temps got down into the low to mid 50s overnight. And as skies fully clear and winds settle even more today and tonight, we should expect even chillier temps with lows in the 40s throughout the area overnight. As for tomorrow, we're looking at even cooler temps for highs during the day, probably in the 55 to 60 degree range for all of Anne Arundel County, with slightly breezy conditions as well. But after that, we're looking at two seasonably gorgeous fall days ahead for the area on Friday and Saturday, with high temps in the mid to upper 60s. Now let's talk about Sunday. Long story short, there is the potential for heavy rain on Sunday, and it could come in the form of a nor'easter. Yes, it is that time of year again to talk coastal storms. So stay tuned and keep an eye on the forecast, especially if you're headed out to the Cowboys-Redskins game at 4 p.m. at FedEx Field. Two more things before we wrap up for today. First, daylight saving time ends next Sunday, November 5th at 2 a.m. So make the most of the daylight hours we have left on the clock while we still have them. Second, we are officially declaring the end of extended summer 2017. So get ready for fall temps on a regular basis and also prepare for big changes as we fully expect a very active weather pattern of cool and wet weather to kick off this weekend and last for much of November. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free app by searching for DCMDVA Weather in your app store, and also be sure to follow us 24/7, 365 on our website at dmvweather.com or on social media via Twitter or Facebook. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Remember, whatever the weather out there, have fun and be safe.
The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief is possible in part because of the incredible generosity and support of the Ram's Head on Stage. Ram's Head, where every seat is less than 48 feet from the stage, brings more than 400 concerts and events a year to the area. To wet your whistle, check out some of these upcoming shows. On Saturday, a special afternoon show, and this is kind of unusual. The Laughs and Drafts comedy series will continue with Justin Scott and Spiegel from 98 Rock. Showtime for this uncensored show is 1 p.m. Saturday night is a burlescapade. In a first ever, I think it's a first ever, for Ram's Head, they are bringing Angie Portani and a New York burlesque troupe in for a Halloween spooktacular. The doors are 7 and showtime is at 8 p.m. Next week brings Vonda Shepard, who we will be speaking with on the Maryland Crabs in just a few days, John Lodge from the Moody Blues, and more comedy with the best of Second City on November 5th. Because who doesn't need some comedy 2 days before an election? Tickets are still available for all of these shows, and you can get yours at ramsheadonstage.com, or if you want to go old school, head on down to their box office. It's located in the heart of beautiful downtown Annapolis at 33 West Street, and for a guaranteed great night out on the town, ramsheadonstage.com.
If you're looking for local sports, it's right here, right now on the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief.
Hey everybody, welcome to Eye on Sports. I'm Kevin Chaney, and in girls varsity volleyball, Old Mill Senior was at Broadneck. Broadneck won 3-0. Southern at Northeast. Southern won 3-0. Meade at Chesapeake. Meade won 3-0. Glen Burnie at Annapolis. Annapolis won 3-1. Arundel at North County. Arundel won 3-0. And last night in the World Series, the LA Dodgers, behind a great performance from Clayton Kershaw, took Game 1. Game 2 will be tonight. That's all I got for you this afternoon, guys. I'm Kevin Chaney. This has been your Eye on Sports.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.